Before the sun touches the African plains, the land is nothing but silhouettes and silence, a continent holding its breath in the dark. Stars fade, the horizon bruises with the first hint of light, and over the sleeping grasslands, a sound begins to rise. A roar, deep, rolling, and ancient, pushes through the cool air, traveling nearly 8 kilometers across the plains. This is more than a call. It is a warning, a boundary drawn in sound, a declaration of territory that says, clearly, who rules this stretch of earth. Other males listen from far away, weighing their chances. Lionesses hear it and know their defender still holds the line. Even in darkness, this voice shapes the day to come. Across the savannah, dozens of species adjust their movements to that single roar. The lion's voice is not just power. It is a force that quietly organizes life on the plains. As the first rays of sunlight spill over the horizon, that voice fades, and another side of lion life emerges with the dawn. Unlike other big cats, lions are social. They live in structured family groups called prides, bound together by blood, alliances, and survival. In this pride, lionesses lie close to one another, cubs tucked safely among them, while the resident male watches from a short distance, his presence both protection and potential conflict. At the heart of every pride are the lionesses. They are the hunters, the protectors, the teachers, the ones who turn grasslands and instinct into strategy. While the male's roar announces ownership, it is the lionesses who earn each meal. Side by side, they scan the horizon, reading the wind, tracking the movements of distant herds. Around them, cubs mimic every motion, clumsy tails swishing as they stare in the same direction, learning, silently, where food and danger come from. Strategy, not speed, is their greatest weapon. Lions are powerful, but they are not the fastest runners on these plains. To survive, they must think like a team. One lioness circles wide, keeping downwind, so her scent will not betray her. Another edges closer to the herd, head low, each paw placed with careful precision to avoid snapping a twig. Their roles are unspoken but clear. Some will drive the herd toward hidden ambush points. Others will lie still until the final moment, a wall of muscle waiting in the grass. No words, no growls, just glances and subtle gestures. In these tiny movements, generations of hunting knowledge pass from one lioness to the next. As the sun climbs higher, the timing must be perfect. One misstep, one startled snort from the herd, and the entire plan unravels. Lions can sprint at speeds of up to 56 kilometers per hour, but only for a few heartbeats. Their bodies are built for explosive power, not long chases. Thick, muscular forelimbs act like grappling hooks, built to slam into fleeing prey and drag it down. Their paws land with surprising softness until the final strike. Then, in an instant, the savannah erupts. The lioness launches from cover, and the chase begins. Hooves hammer the ground, dust rises, and for a few seconds, raw power surges through the lion's body as she closes the gap, claws reaching for contact. If she connects, her forelimbs wrap around the prey, using weight and leverage to topple it. Her powerful jaws clamp around the throat, cutting off air, ending the struggle as quickly as possible. But more often than not, the prey escapes. A sudden turn, uneven ground, or a fraction of a second's delay, and the hunt is over before it truly begins. Failure is common. Every chase burns precious energy, and in the heat of Africa, energy is as vital as water. A failed hunt means another day of hunger, another risk taken at dusk or dawn. For adults, it is hardship. For growing cubs, repeated failure can mean the difference between life and death. Yet persistence is as much a part of lion life as power. Resting now, they will hunt again when shadows lengthen and the air cools. Because on these plains, success is not glory. Success is survival, for the pride and for every cub waiting in the grass. While the lionesses shoulder the daily risk of the hunt, another battle plays out at the edges of their world, the struggle to hold power itself. The dominant male of this pride is easy to spot, not just by his size, but by the mane that frames his head like a living crown. The male lion's mane is more than appearance. Its length, thickness, and color are signals, advertisements of strength, health, and high testosterone. Darker, fuller manes often belong to males in their prime, individuals that have survived fights, injuries, and lean seasons. To rivals, that mane says, think carefully before you challenge. But on the far side of this territory, two younger males patrol the boundary, catching faint traces of scent on the wind and listening for the roar that marked this land at dawn. Dominance for a male lion is always temporary. Rivals test the borders, waiting for weakness, a wound, an absence, or a fading roar that hints at age. When they finally meet, the savannah holds its breath. Deep bellows roll back and forth, manes bristle, and the males size each other up, trying to win with intimidation before claws ever touch flesh. Sometimes, the resident male drives the intruders away, and peace returns, at least for a while. But when new males take over, the consequences for the pride can be brutal. Lionesses pace anxiously, cubs huddle in cover, and the fragile future of the pride hangs in the balance. New males may kill existing cubs to bring females back into breeding condition and pass on their own genes. Nature is powerful, but it is not gentle. For lions, dominance and survival are written not just in roars, but in who lives long enough to grow a mane or to raise a cub. Away from the turmoil of the open plains, another story unfolds in secret, hidden beneath thickets and tall grass. Lion cubs are born blind and helpless, weighing little more than a human newborn. For their first weeks, they remain concealed, entirely dependent on their mother's milk, warmth, and vigilance. She moves them from one hidden den to another, carrying each gently between her teeth to avoid drawing attention from predators or from the very males that might threaten them. Even with such care, the odds are stacked against them. In some areas, nearly 80% of cubs will not survive their first 2 years. Hyenas, leopards, starvation, disease, and male takeovers all claim their share. The peaceful scene of a sleeping cub is, in reality, balanced on a knife edge. Yet for those that do survive, play becomes their classroom. Cubs pounce on their siblings, stalk through patches of grass, and tumble in mock battles that look chaotic, but teach precision and control. Every clumsy leap refines their coordination. Every soft bite trains their jaws, and sets the boundaries of social rank within the pride. One hesitant cub lingers at the edge, unsure, before finally springing into the fray. In that moment, a small spark of confidence appears, one of thousands of tiny steps that may, one day, mean the difference between catching prey and going hungry. These fragile beginnings, multiplied across generations, are what sustain the great prides of Africa. But beyond this single stretch of savanna, the lion's kingdom has been shrinking. Thousands of years ago, lions roamed from southern Europe through the Middle East and across India, as well as much of Africa. Today, most wild lions survive only in scattered pockets of sub-Saharan Africa, surrounded by a world transformed by people. Expanding towns, farms, and roads carve their habitat into fragments, squeezing lions into protected areas where their future depends as much on human decisions as on tooth and claw.